Hi, this is Shekhar. I completed my engineering from mechanical branch. After the completion of my engineering, I worked in different manufacturing companies in pharmaceutical, chemical and steel companies. And my career into SAP has started as a SAP core user. Then later on, I moved into the SAP ERP environment as a SAP logistics functional consultant. My total experience is 15 years of experience. Out of 15 years of experience, 10 years as a SAP functional consultant into the modules like SAP MM, materials management, WM, warehouse management, PP, production planning, and sales and distribution, etc. In the today's session, we are going to discuss about ERP, about the ERP packages, why ERP and objectives of the ERP, about SAP and the origin of SAP. Yeah. So ERP. So what is an ERP basically? It stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. What is an enterprise means? A well-established organization or a company. When we take any organization, we need some sort of the resources to run the organization. For example, man, material, money, method, machinery, and time. These are the important resources to run any organization with proper planning like purchase, production, quality, sales, maintenance, etc. So ERP is one part of IT segment in IT industry where people are working on this environment. Any company using the resources by planning to improve or to develop or to grow rapidly with planning of all the resources like people, machines, money, etc. for running any business applications in a business, in a company is called an ERP. Coming to the ERP packages or ERP products, we have so many ERP packages or products available in the market, out of which these are the ERP packages available globally. SAP, Oracle, PeopleSoft, JD Edwards, Bond, Microsoft Dynamics, Ramco, etc. Where SAP is the leader in the ERP environment. The objectives and the goals of the ERP. Whenever an organization is running the ERP applications, okay, so these are the advantages we are going to come across by using this ERP products. To increase productivity, to reduce cost of production, to increase in performance, customer satisfaction, and quick ROI. So ROI is nothing but return on investment. Now we talk about our product SAP AG. SAP AG is an organization or a company which was founded by 5 people who are previously working in IBM company, have started this organization in the year 1972, where the company headquartered in Waldorf in Germany. So SAP AG is purely a German-based company and German-based ERP product, where it stands 10 out of the top 10 US companies with the highest market value uses SAP software. 8 of the top largest US corporations use SAP software. 8 of the top 10 highest profit US companies use SAP software. And more than 100,000 customers using SAP ERP in more than 120 countries globally. So what is SAP means? It stands for System, Application and Products in a Data Processing. Always we're supposed to call it as a SAP. So it stands for System, Application and Products in a Data Processing. It's called SAP. And AG stands for AG in Germany, which is similar to Limited in India and incorporation or corporation in USA, UK, etc. Now these are the 5 people are the founders of SAP company and SAP ERP product. Dietmar Hopp, Hans Werner Hector, Klaus Wellenruther, Klaus Chira, Hasso Plattner. So these are the 5 people who came out of IBM company, have started this company and the ERP product. Coming to the architecture of SAP. So we call it as a SAP R by 3. R stands for real time and 3 stands for 3-tier architecture, where a tier is nothing but scope of a computer or a system. First we have a single tier, means the standalone system. Example, PC, personal computer. Next, 2-tier architecture. IBM mainframe system is called a 2-tier architecture, where it contains 2 layers, database layer and application layer. Next, 3-tier architecture. The SAP R3 is a 3-tier architecture. It is divided into 3 layers. The presentation layer, graphical user interface, GUI, application layer, web application, and database layer, Oracle, DB2, Sybase, etc. So how this SAP is providing the solutions to the companies? This SAP is divided into, this SAP ERP product is divided into 2 segments, technical and functional. We call it as a technical modules and we call it as a functional modules. These are different technical modules what we have. ABAP, it stands for Advanced Business Application Programming. BASIS, Business Administration System Integrated Solution. BIBW, Business Information, Warehouse or Business Intelligence. XIPI, Exchange Infrastructure or Process Integration. MDN, Master Data Management, etc. So like this we have different flavors in technical modules. Now coming to the functional side, that is functional modules. When we take any organization, we'll have different departments. Purchasing department, stores department, production department, sales department, financial department, risk accounting department, controlling department, maintenance department, quality department, administration department, projects department, safety department, etc., etc., etc. When you take any organization, we'll have different departments. Okay. So when you take all the departments of one organization, when we compare with our SAP ERP product, each department is supposed to be treated as one functional module. Materials management. WM, warehouse management. PP, production planning and control. SD, sales and distribution. Financial and control, FICO. Plant maintenance, PM. Quality management, QM. HR, human resources. PS, project systems. EHS, environmental health and safety. Next we have new dimensional products in SAP. That is the functional modules we're supposed to call it as. SRM stands for Supplier Relationship Management. CRM, Customer Relationship Management. APO, Advanced Planning and Optimizer. EWM, Extended Warehouse Management. BPC, Business Process and Consolidations. So these are the next procedure modules, the modules what we have seen before. Next we have IS specific modules. IS stands for Industry Specific Products in SAP. IS stands for Industry Specific. Retail, oil and gas, utilities, healthcare, automotive, pharmaceutical, media, etc. Now coming to the versions in SAP, when this ERP product has been started, they started with the version 3.0, then upgrade to different versions like 4.0, 4.5, 4.6, 4.7, ECC 6.0, then ECC 6.0 EHP5 or EHP6, where ECC stands for Enterprise Center Component and EHP stands for Enhanced Package. Now this is the SAP R3 installations by industry wise. Okay, so the percentage of the SAP ERP product which was used in the global worldwide. SAP Retail, SAP Pharma and Chemicals, SAP Aerospace, Defense and Engineering Construction side, SAP High Technical, SAP Services and Transportation, SAP Manufacturing and Materials, SAP Telecom and Utilities, SAP Public Sector, Oil and Gas, Automotive, Banking, Media and Insurance. So this is a total SAP R3 Enterprise client or server. So this is the architecture of the SAP, how it look like with the modules: sales and distribution, materials management, production planning and control, quality management, plant maintenance, human resources, financial accounting, controlling, project systems, industry solutions, etc. When we talk about the functional modules, now first basically before going to the functional, we'll discuss about the logistics. Now what is logistics? So logistics comprises all the process that are take place in any organization. So logistics will comprises all the departments or all the processes involved in any organization, like purchasing, materials management, inventory management, warehousing, quality management, maintenance, sales, service management, etc. Yeah. Now here we'll take the first functional module, materials management. We call it as MM. So where this module will start and where it ends basically. This module deals about the requirement of identification of the materials. Once we identify the requirement of the material, we need to find out the source of supply or vendors available in the market. So as a buyer, we need to approach to the suppliers, raising the quotations, selection of the vendor, then we create PO creations, then PO approval process takes place, then the purchase order will be received by the vendor send the material, then finally the company will do the payment to the supplier. This total part comes under the purchasing activities, comes under a module called materials management. PP, production planning and control. So what this module does? So this PP module will deals about the planning activities depending upon the customer business and depending upon the customer requirement, the planning will take place. So in PP module we have different types of plannings. Okay, like reorder point planning, forecast based planning, time phase planning, independent requirement planning. So depending upon the customer requirement and the business process, the production planning module or the PP module will do the activities, and finally they will execute the finished component as per the customer requirement. Next, SD, sales and distribution. So what this module does then? So this module supports the sales and distribution activities, how it takes place in any organization, where the company is going to deliver the material on time delivery, interacting with the customers, and knowing the requirements of the customers. Based upon the customer requirements will be gathered and taking the time and delivering the material on time. Dispatching sections, shipping and loading, all this comes under a module called sales and distribution. And quality management, QM stands for quality management. What this module does? For example, I created a purchase order to the vendor. The vendor has sent the material. The moment when I receive the material from the vendor, it will not use or it will not place directly into the stores. First, it will go to the quality department. The quality assurance department will decide whether you want to accept the material, whether you want to accept the inspection lot. So the moment when you receive the stock of the material from the vendor, inspection lot is generated from the quality management department. So the quality management department will decide whether you want to accept or reject the lot of that stock of the material. So they will do some sort of the quality test or plannings, or some sort of the quality measurements will be taken up. All this comes under module called quality management. Plant maintenance, PM stands for plant maintenance. So what is this plant maintenance? Now when you take any organization, we are supposed to use different equipments or machineries. So we need to have some sort of the maintenance of these equipments or machineries. For example, we have a machine called DG set. DG stands for diesel generator, where it generates the power. Okay, so this equipment or this machine has to go for maintenance. So in the industry, we'll have different types of maintenance: preventive maintenance, annual maintenance, breakdown maintenance, and how to ensure availability of the operational systems in the plant. Okay, suppose if the machine is got damage, okay, or the equipment has got some problem, troubleshooting the problems that are faced by that equipment, all this comes under a module called plant maintenance. Next, finance, FICO, financial controlling. So this total module deals about the payables, accounts receivables, that is doing the payments to the vendors, receiving the payments from the customer, okay, and controlling deals with the planning and control instruments for company-wide controlling systems, okay, capturing all the costs that are taking place in any organization. All this comes under a module called financial and controlling. Services, it provides highly services management, integrated customer service. And human resources, the roles and responsibilities of this module is the personal administration, looking after all the human resources, covering of all the personal management, and help to simplify and speed the process of the time roll and pay management. So like this, the functional modules activities takes place in any organization. And coming to the technical modules, ABAP. So it is a programming language in SAP. It stands for Advanced Business and Application Programming. BASIS. So it stands for Business Administration System Integrated Solution. So we're supposed to call it as a system administrator or network administrator. Now we discuss about the business process. When we take any organization, it may be mechanical, automobile, retail, pharmaceutical, chemical. We have the procurement types, and these procurement types are divided into two categories. They are external procurement, internal procurement. So what is this external procurement and what is the internal procurement? Let's say, for example, a customer is there, Alex, or a company. Now they are in need of a material, that is a finished material. D is a finished material. If I want to manufacture this finished material D, I need the raw materials A, B and C. When I have the stocks of the raw materials A, B and C, then I can do the production of the material D. And here the customer requirement is 100,000 tons of the material per month. Therefore, the customer approaches a company, for example, XYZ. So customer, company. The relationship between these two is sales order. What is a sales order? It's a legal document between a customer and company. When the company accepts the requirement given by the customer, we supposed to call it as a demand management or independent requirement. Now the company has accepted the requirement given by the customer. It means the company is ready to deliver the material what the customer needs. Now the company has to check the availability of the resources. It may be a material, manpower, equipments or machineries, etc. MRP. So what does MRP means? MRP stands for Material Requirement Planning. It's a planning tool. The abbreviation is Material Requirement Planning. Coming to the definition point of view, it contains information of inventory management data. What is inventory management data? Maintaining the stocks of the materials, that is raw materials. Next, BOM data. We call it as a BOM data. BOM stands for Bill of Material Data. And planning data. All put together we call it as a Material Requirement Planning. And from here it is divided into two sections. The first case is no stock available and the second case is stock available. So no stock available. What is the meaning of no stock available? So I have the excellent business order in my hands given by the customer. To execute it, I don't have the stocks of the raw materials. That is called no stock available. So what happens here? So here the planning will take place and the order is called planned order. Now here the company is in need of raw material. So purchase equation will be generated. We call it as a PR. So here the company is in need of material. So company has identified the requirement of the material. When we identify the requirement of the material, then only we approach to the source of supply, nothing but source determination, nothing but vendor. When we approaches to the suppliers, that approachment will be done in the form of quotation. It means the buyer will create quotations to the vendors. We call it as a RFQ. RFQ stands for request for quotation. So we'll send the RFQ to different vendors. The suppliers, if they are ready to supply the material, they will get back to the quotation sent by the company. So the company will receive and maintain quotation for vendors. So what they maintain? They maintain the terms and conditions, warranty, services, etc. Then the price comparison for the RFQs takes place. So we'll do price comparison, which vendor is giving for which price, etc. And finally we'll select the source of supply or vendor. Okay, not only the price is taken into consideration, price, quality, delivery and the service are the four important parameters or important information will be taken into consideration to select the supplier or vendor. Now finally, I know the material what I want to buy. I know the supplier from where I can buy. A relationship between the buyer and the supplier is called PO, that is purchase order. So purchase order is a legal document between a buyer and supplier. So purchase order creation takes place, and if it has to go for approval, it will be approved by your manager, senior manager, whoever it may be, depending upon the organization hierarchy. Then purchase order confirmation takes place, follow up of the vendors, and finally When we receive the material from the supplier, GR is created. GR stands for goods received with reference to purchase order. So once we receive the material, we'll receive invoice from the vendor. So we'll verify the invoice and finally we'll do the payment to the supplier. The moment the payment will comes, the financial department will look after the payment activities. Therefore, this external procurement leads to a module called MM, Materials Management. We have the other name for MM, that is purchase to pay or order to pay is the other names for the MM module. We call it a P2P or O2P. The second case is stock available. So what is meaning of stock available? So customer has given the order or customer has places the order, and to execute it, the company is having the stocks of the materials. That is called stock available. So here what happens? Planned order, which is further converted to production order because the company is having the stocks of the raw materials, and releasing the production order, goods issue of the subcomponents with reference to production order. So finally we confirm the production order and the company has executed the finished material. Here also we create GR with reference to production order, and finally the production order is technically completed. Then production order settlement takes place. So we are going to compare the target and actual cost of the production, and finally the material will be delivered to the customer. Where sales billing and sales invoice takes place, customer will do the payment to the company. So here the payment will come. Who will look after it? The financial department. So here the company is having the stocks of the raw materials. So straight away the company plan for the production activities and they deliver the material what the customer needs. This total procurement we call it as a internal procurement, which leads to a module called PP. So this is the overall business process flow, how it takes place. So coming from the materials management, right from the raw material procurement up to the accounts payable, that is creation of purchase order, goods receipt, invoice receipt, accounts payable, which is done by the finance. Next, the other end of the MRP is, if the company having the stocks of the raw materials, then go for the planning, production, and finally the costing will take place, which is done by the controlling. When the finished material executed, then the sales activities will come into the picture, where the company is going to deliver the material to the customers, shipping, loading, unloading sections, and billing will take place, which is done by the finance. Business process. So these are individually how the flow of the business will take place. This is from the SD side. And this is the overall the overview cycle of materials management. So requirement identification, source determination, that is the vendor determinations, vendor selections. Once vendor is selected, purchase order creations and purchase order processings, purchase order monitoring. When we receive the material, creation of the goods receipts, finally doing the payment, and the payment process will take place. Right from identifying of the requirement of the material up to payment to the vendor. This total part comes under a model called materials management. Thanks for your wonderful time, giving me an opportunity and giving me your valuable time to deliver the session. That is, we call it as a demo session or a demo class for the presentation. And coming to the content, what we are going to discuss in our training program. Okay. So what we are going to discuss in our training program. So this is a SAP MM content. Introduction to the ERP, organization structure, different types of master datas, different types of purchasing documents, document types for the purchasing documents, approval process, that is we call as a release procedure, pricing procedure, external services management, how the services procurement will take place, then optimized purchasing, inventory management, what are the inventory management activities, how it takes place, physical inventory, how the steps to be performed for the physical inventory process. Next, we have special stocks and special procurement types like consignment, stock transfer order, subcontracting, pipeline, returnable transport packaging, we call it as a RTP, third party processing, then batch management, how it takes place, the batch management process, how we are going to handle the materials in the form of batches. Next, valuation and account determination, the introduction to the material valuation and split valuation is a process how you are going to evaluate the material into multiple prices. Next, we'll discuss about the invoice verification and different types of invoices creations, invoice for purchase order, planned and unplanned delivery costs, subsequent debit, subsequent credit, credit memo, the blocking of the invoices, the releasing of the blocking invoices, JRIR clearing account, stochastic block, parking of the invoice documents. So like this, we are going to see the different scenarios under invoice verification. And next, we have the important topics like integration concepts. How this MM module is integrated with financial and controlling, with sales and distribution, production planning, with warehouse management, and next with quality management module. So these are very important topics. How MM is integrated with other modules. And we are going to see the technical requirements for MM like LSMW, legacy system migration workbench. Okay, how you are going to upload the data from non-SAP environment to SAP environment, then MM standard reports, and what are the tables involved, different types of tables involved in MM, and general topics which are prerequisite. So that is differences between implementation project, support project, upgrade and rollout projects, gap analysis, as is and to be documents, then SAP system landscape, SAP testing, handling SAP tickets, and the sample resumes. Okay, so like this, our training program will goes based upon the content, and daily the class will be for 1 hour, not more than that. We'll have the classes from Monday to Friday. Even we'll handle the special batches, that is we call it the weekend batches, where we'll have the classes only on Saturday and Sundays. So we provide the training both in the weekdays and the weekends, depending upon the student's requirement. And apart from that, we'll have the recordings. Okay, in this online training program, you have the benefit of recordings. Each and every class will be recorded, which will help the student after the completion of the class. They can read through each and every recording file while you are practicing, so that if you are got stuck anywhere, you can run the recording once or twice or thrice, so that it will help you during the practice, even at the interview point of time. And apart from that, coming to the material wise, we are providing the soft copy material which was given by standard SAP. Apart from that, specifically the documents which are created by the trainer will be provided to the students. Thank you very much. Hope you will respond to my class. So this is my email ID, shakersap224@gmail.com, and Skype ID shakersap, and my contact number is 9885 667704. Thank you.